Hi, I'm Charlotte from Tal Digital Marketing, and today we're going to talk about how to update all content using Google Search Console, a really easy, quick, simple way. At the moment, we're experimenting with an informational review site on tech. A lot of the articles on here were published about a year ago, and we want to go over it, give it a bit of a refresh just to give it a little boost. We published a lot of articles about different kinds of tech, and the one we're going to focus on today is an article called HDR10 versus Dolby Vision, which is better. So if we pull this up in Google Search Console, we can see it's doing all right. It could be a lot better, and we could do with giving it a little bit of a boost. So the way we like to do that is to pop it in Search Console, and we're concerned with the queries that it's showing up and ranking for. If we go on to query, custom, and we're going to paste this one in here. So this regular expression will bring us a list of any who, what, where, when, why, and how queries that this page is ranking for. So if we pull that up and drop down to these questions here. So I'm going to filter by impressions. When we see higher impressions, lower clicks, it tends to mean that obviously the site is ranking lower down for these terms, meaning that we aren't necessarily answering that question in full. If we look at this, for example, is jumping out to me. So what is the difference between Dolby Vision and HDR10? I know that we've covered that purely because that's what the blog is about. But if we go a bit further down, what is the difference between HDR10 and HDR10 Plus? If I look on the blog, I know immediately we spoke about them both, and here our writing team have written that it's just a better version. It may be beneficial for readers, for Google, to add in a heading tag here, so another H3 or a H4, and maybe bulk this out a little bit and just add what is the difference between HDR10 and HDR10 Plus. Then I'm just going to repeat that process pretty much. These are two really great ones. So what resolution is Dolby Vision? Now it doesn't ring a bell to me, but a simple way of checking, I'll just do a site search. So if I just type resolution, I've only mentioned it once, so I've not specifically answered this. So immediately I would pull this question out, we would write a paragraph answering it directly, and we would add that into the content somewhere relevant as probably a H2 because it seems like quite a key question. There's tons in here that we can go off. These are just a few. We've got around 144 who, what, when, why, where, how queries that we can look at. Not all of these will be worth putting in that blog. We may write all these down, and some of them could be their own standalone blogs. We could add it in and internally link to a new one. But this is a really easy way to see what has been missed and either boost an older piece of content or help with an ongoing content strategy.